My daughter leaned in during dessert. Her hand was cold against mine. "Mom," she whispered, "we need to leave. Now." Her voice trembled, but her eyes didn't. I blanked. What happened? She didn't answer, just said, "You didn't look under the table." So I did. And that's when everything snapped into place. Beneath the lace tablecloth, tucked against my brother's polished dress shoe, was a phone. The screen was dimmed, but just visible. The red recording bar was on. Audio. He'd been recording us. Again. 10 minutes earlier, the room had been warm. My mother's roast filled the air. Wine glasses clinked. My father laughed too loudly, probably at something that wasn't funny. My brother, Daniel, sat across from me, cutting into his steak with surgeon-like precision. It looked like a normal family dinner. But normal died in this house years ago. When I was 17, Daniel pulled me aside during a camping trip. "You're adopted," he said flatly. "Mom told me when I was 8. I laughed, thought he was joking. He wasn't. I confronted my parents. They denied it, lied with tears in their eyes, claimed he was jealous, manipulative. So I believed them, because who would lie like that? Daniel, that's who. He always wanted power, control, the kind of control that twists the truth just enough to make people doubt their own memories, especially mine. I found out the real truth at 26 after giving birth to my daughter. A DNA test to check for medical markers. A name came up, not my mother's, not my father's. I was, in fact, adopted. Not legally, quietly, illegally. The woman who gave birth to me was a teenager who worked for my dad's company, fired at 17, pregnant, paid off. It all unraveled after that. My parents begged for forgiveness, said they were trying to protect me, said it was love. But love doesn't come with bribes or forged documents or 2 decades of lies. And Daniel? He just smiled, like he'd won. Over the next few years, Daniel got rich off lies. He invested early in cryptocurrency, cashed out before the crash, and bought a townhouse in D.C. with soundproofed walls. No wife, no kids, just secrets. And leverage. He started recording family conversations, edited them, took clips out of context, used them to blackmail relatives for favors, money, silence. My parents knew. They let him because they feared him. And I became the target again. Only this time, he wanted more than emotional chaos. He wanted my daughter. Claire is 22 now, smart, quiet, brilliant in ways Daniel could never understand. She noticed the first time, at Thanksgiving. Her voice on a podcast spliced into a political rant she never recorded. Daniel's voice wasn't in it, but his watermark was. That's when she started watching him. She was the one who planted the decoy text thread, accidentally left her phone unlocked near him, a fake conversation between her and me, hinting that we'd uncovered something damaging, something federal. He bit hard. I watched him sweat for a week. We came to dinner tonight to confirm it, to bait him. He hid the phone under the table, same model as mine. He thought I wouldn't notice the switch, but Claire did. She always does. When she whispered, I looked under the table, saw the red recording bar. I nodded. Then I stood up. "Claire and I have to go," I said calmly. My mother froze. "But dessert!" Daniel stood too fast. No, sit. I was about to bring out the... "Don't," I said. And then, to Claire, "Call Agent Dorsey." My parents' faces fell. Daniel's smirk cracked. He didn't know we'd recorded him. He didn't know the SD card in Claire's pendant held 3 months of audio. Him coercing my father, threatening my mother, laughing about what he did to Rachel, our cousin, back in 2009. That last one was the nail in the coffin. She finally came forward, swore an affidavit, said she'd testify. Daniel was arrested the next morning. Wiretapping, extortion, sexual coercion, digital manipulation. The list was long. My parents called us 30 times that day. My mother left voicemails sobbing. My father begged for mercy. They weren't crying for justice. They were crying because the Dolden sun was gone and their web of lies had collapsed. Claire and I moved to Boston 2 months later. Smaller place, colder winters, warmer silence. She plays piano again. I sleep through the night. I don't miss the family dinners. Some people say justice is about courts and sentences, but for me, it was this. Walking out of that house with my daughter beside me, her eyes clear, my spine straight, and finally, no one watching from under the table.